Welcome to Learning Algebra with Ms. Rodriguez. By the end of this video, you will understand completing the square with rounded answers. Here in example 3, we want to solve the equation by completing the square. I also want to round to the nearest hundredth if necessary. So sometimes when we're completing the square, we're not going to actually get nice whole numbers. If something is a nice whole number, then we could have used other methods to solve anyways. So for completing the square, we might always tend to have numbers that are not nice and complete integers. Same rules apply. So we still want to solve by completing the square. I'm going to set this up by moving 81 to the right side so that I can find the number to complete the square. So I moved my variable, my number 81 to the right side, and I created a space to find the number that I'm going to complete the square with. Because my b term is 12, half of 12 is 6, and 6 squared is 36. So I know that I need to add 36 to both sides. My next step is to rewrite the left side in factored form. So it's always going to follow this pattern where I have a parentheses being squared. My variable is x, and I just need to figure out what goes inside my middle term. Well, my middle term is negative 12. X, my b term, so half of negative 12 is negative 6. I also want to make sure that I am simplifying the right side. So 81 plus 36 gives me 117. Now I want to solve using the square root method. So I'm going to get rid of the square by square rooting both sides. This square root and square will cancel, leaving me with x minus 6. Now this is the different part. Because I do not get a nice whole number, the square root of 117 is a rather large decimal, and I do need to set up two equations. I'm going to keep the square root of 117 as a radical, meaning I'm not going to get the actual number that it can simplify into. But I am going to remember that I have a plus and a minus. The reason I want to do this is so that I know exactly what numbers I'm going to type into my calculator to get the most exact answer for my rounding. So now I'm going to set up my two equations. So I have my first one where it's x minus 6 equals the positive version of 117. X minus 6 equals the negative version of the square root of 117. Now that I have my two equations, I'm going to solve. So I know I need to isolate the variable by adding 6 on both sides. So negative 6 plus 6 cancels, giving me with a value for x. I want to do the same thing on both sides on the right side, also giving me a value for x. So now I want to go into my calculator and I want to actually type these numbers into my calculator to see what my answer is going to be and how to round it appropriately. So when I go ahead and do that, notice that I have the square root of 117, and then outside of the radical, I have the plus 6, and I get the decimal 16.81665,383. So remember, when we're rounding, we are trying to find our place first, so our place is the hundredth. That's the second number after the decimal point. So because I'm looking at the 1, I need to look next door to the 6. And because it is greater than 5, I'm going to add 1. So my answer for the first one is going to be 16.82 because I needed to add 1. And then I'm going to look at my second one. Notice that I have a negative outside of the radical. So I have negative square root of 117 plus 6. That's going to give me negative 4.816. So because it is essentially the same number, I'm just adding or subtracting a negative to it. I essentially have the same type of decimal, so I can round to negative 4.82. So just as expected, I have two answers, and this time they are rounded to the nearest hundredth. Thank you for watching. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with fellow educators or students.